In the heart of a dense and tranquil forest, King Pandu, Queen Kunthi, and Queen Mathiri lived with their 5 children, surrounded by nature's serenity. One day, in a secluded garden within the forest, Pandu and Mathiri found themselves alone, embraced by the stillness and beauty around them. As they stood together, a gentle breeze began to stir, carrying with it a sense of calm and a whisper of fate. In that moment of peace, Pandu allowed himself to forget the ominous curse that had been laid upon him by the sage Kinthama Rishi. But Mathiri, filled with concern, tried to remind Pandu of the curse, though her words were lost in the soft wind. Overcome by a wave of affection, Pandu moved closer to Mathiri, his heart brimming with love, his mind blind to the impending doom. As his hand reached out to touch Mathiri, the reality of the curse struck with sudden, devastating force. With a cry of anguish, Pandu collapsed to the ground, the life draining from his body as Mathiri looked on in horror. Kunthi, hearing the desperate cry, rushed to the garden, only to find her beloved husband lying lifeless. Overcome with grief, she fainted. Mathiri, racked with guilt and sorrow, fell to her knees beside Pandu's body, her tears falling as she blamed herself for his death. As the final rites approached, the family gathered in deep sorrow, preparing Pandu's body for the funeral pyre. In her deep grief, Kunthi expressed her desire to join her husband in death, a final act of devotion. But Mathiri, still stricken with guilt, insisted that it should be her who perishes with Pandu, feeling responsible for his demise. Mathiri admitted her lack of maturity, saying she was not fit to care for the children as Kunthi could. With a heavy heart, Kunthi agreed, understanding the gravity of Mathiri's plea. Mathiri, resolved and sorrowful, prepared herself for the final act of devotion. Meanwhile, the news of Pandu's death reached Hastinapur, where it struck like a thunderbolt. Bhishma and Satyavati were shattered by the news, with Satyavati weeping openly while Bhishma grieved silently. Ambalika, Pandu's mother, was overcome with grief, her tears unceasing. In the forest, Yudhisthira, Pandu's eldest son, solemnly lit the funeral pyre. Mathiri stepped into the flames, her expression one of peace as she joined her husband in death. The flames rose high, consuming the bodies of both Pandu and Mathiri, as Kunthi and her sons watched in silent mourning. Kunthi, with her heart heavy but determined, gathered her sons and began the long journey back to Hastinapur. As the forest fell silent, the end of an era gave way to the beginning of a new chapter for Kunthi and her sons.